Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What is the sign that hizmet is not accepted, and what are the conditions for one's hizmet to be accepted?
Hizmet to who? To your shaykh? If you have different shaykhs, I don't know what the style is. If it's hizmet to our shaykh, hizmet to the one that he has put here, let's say for our purposes, to me, it's going to be very clear whether it's accepted or it's not accepted. All of the hizmet is accepted in reality. Any hizmet that you do is accepted. But it is our way to say, now you can make this hizmet to become more acceptable. How are you going to make this hizmet to become more beautiful? What are the things that you're doing that makes this hizmet to be less beautiful? Our washing up when you're doing something is not to say we reject it, but how you can make it even more beautiful, and how stupid you have to be not to know that already. That you can make it more and more and more beautiful, better and better. So many times the frustration is not because you don't know, but the frustration is because you know, you should have known. You know this already and you're repeating it. You understand? But that doesn't also mean that the hizmet is rejected. It's not. No hizmet is going to be rejected. I mean, those that are done with sincerity, of course. And so that's, in our way, in our style, is going to be pretty clear. This much is enough. Assalamu alaikum. May our hizmet to our shaykh be acceptable. I'm not sitting down here wondering whether he's going to accept or not. That's up to him. If everything that I've done and he says it's not acceptable, it's fair. What am I going to do? Fight with him? If he says everything is acceptable, if he says everything I'm doing acceptable, that's the time I'm going to raise some doubts and say, I know I didn't do that properly. I know I could have done that better. I know I wasn't really 100% with that. So my attitude now is not whether he's going to accept or not. You have to pass from that. It has to be, what could I have done better? As Shaykh Efendi says, you always must make your work to become better. And he says, in fact, Shaykh Efendi said clearly one time, don't do anything, do everything for Allah's sake. Don't do it for my sake, he says. You do it for Allah's sake, Allah will be happy with you. You do it for my sake, I will never be happy with you. Because I'm not happy with you because I always want to push you to higher stations. That's why I'm saying, what about this? What about this? What about this? So that fits into my way that I was raised. It fits into the way that I think. It fits into the way that I want to conduct myself. And it is not a matter of trying to be so humble or trying to say, oh, I'm not doing anything, I did nothing. No, I did something, but I could have done that better. And why didn't I think of that? It's being sensitive to that, but you're also removed from that. You understand? You're removed from it. So that I'm not looking to see whether this is shameful, is anyone looking at me, is it embarrassing or not. I'm looking at, oh, of course I could have done that. I know that already. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, next time I'm going to think. So after a while, it doesn't really matter so much whether that one is yelling at you or praising you. Even when he praises you, so many times if Shaykh Efendi does, rarely do we get shocked. And when he does, you know, we'd rather die than be praised by him. So, but we stop ourselves too, and you know, we say, okay, we could have done this one we should have done. Even if you think you did everything nicely, there's so many wrong things that you did in your past. How are you to know that everything has been forgiven anyway? No. So use that. People are praising and say, oh, remember one time you did this. When you start, you know, becoming so puffy, you start looking down on other people, you start thinking, this one is my enemy, this one is this. Start thinking, look, remember, you used to do that. Pull yourself back a little bit. Then you by yourself, you will balance it. Know that, teach that to your children, so that they have a sense of worth and a sense of meaning that they understand by themselves, that they're not just doing something so that someone can pat them on the head and someone can praise them. If that's all that they're running after, then once they are free to go out to the world, shaitan will swoop on them like a buzzard. Because shaitan and the Ahli Dunya is only going to shower praises to people, to boost them. But they themselves, they must know. Their hearts are working, they must know this one is sincere or not. We have a saying in our culture, you know. They say, be careful of this person. It says, this person, he doesn't have too much honor. Why? Because he consumes praise. He eats praise. Meaning that he likes to be praised. Praise is like a bait, and he eats it. There are some people, they don't eat praise. They don't really like it. They don't say anything. But we know that this culture is a culture of praise, no? It's a culture of praise. Every little thing, it's, oh, good job. It's good to sort of validate it a little bit, but when it becomes too much, and you must know how to balance it, then they're only going to go to people who praise them. And the people who praise you, be careful. They want something from you. Wa min Allahu tawfiq al-Fatiha. Okay. This much is enough. Assalamu alaikum.